If you're in college, if you're in first year, second year, third year, then the best thing that you can do for yourself right now is to get an internship because it is going to help you in multiple ways. First, you're going to get work experience. Second, you're going to make a good resume because you're going to have an internship. And third, you might get lucky and you might even get a PPO. And even if you don't get a PPO, you'll still have an internship in your resume and you'll have work experience. So getting an internship is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself if you're in like your early years of college and you don't have to look for placements right now. So the next thing is you might be like, okay, of course I understand that an internship is a good thing, but how do I get an internship? So that is something that is worrying a lot of people. If you're in college, then obviously you're worried about how you will get an internship. So obviously, if you're in a good college, if you're in IIT, NIT, Tier 1 colleges, then you have internship drives going on. Companies will come to your college and they will hire you for internships. But what if you're from Tier 3? Then of course you have no companies coming for internships and you have to go out and get it yourself. So how do you do that? That's what I'm going to talk about in today's video, which is how do you get an internship? So the video is going to be divided into three parts. First, what skills do you need for internships and how do you get those skills? Second, what projects do you have in your resume, or how to build your resume and how to build your portfolio? And third, where to get the internship opportunities. So in all of these three segments, we'll discuss about what you can do to get the best internship opportunity possible. Okay, and go from there. So let's start with the first thing. What skills do you need to get an internship? So this is something that probably confuses a lot of people. Even in my videos, I just recently got some comments asking me, Ki bhaiya, what is more important for internship, dev or DSA? So this debate of dev or DSA is like as old as I can remember. Even when I was in college, first year, we had this discussions, dev or DSA. So let me be very clear. For internships, this is how it goes. If you're looking for FANG companies, if you're going for internship of Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart, these kind of companies, 110% you will be asked DSA. But if you go for startups, if you go for companies that need urgent work requirement, they might not ask DSA, and the rounds might be more focused on development. So what should you choose? The answer is cliche, but both. What I will suggest to you, learn development and learn DSA. Learn development, make some good projects which you're passionate about, and side by side, learn DSA. Okay, you need to focus on both of these things. Hi everyone, so as you might already know, with today's day and age, as the recession is going on, it is very difficult to get a placement or even an internship. And if you are someone who wants to get placed in the big tech companies like Google, Atlassian, Amazon, Microsoft, and you keep on struggling and you require extra help, then Cryo can definitely help you out. So I've made various videos about Cryo. It's basically an upskilling platform which gives you the required skill to crack these companies as a software engineer. So the next question that will come in your mind is, how will Cryo help me? So Cryo has a very structured curriculum in which they teach you everything step by step that you require to crack the interviews of the top companies. So they teach you things like problem solving, they teach you things like development, they teach you things like interview focused skills, and along with that, they help you make a resume that will make sure that you get shortlisted into the interview of the top companies. So if you are someone who wants to get placed in the top companies and you need help, if you are struggling, then I will definitely suggest Cryo. There's a link in the description. From there, you can click in the link, go to the course, check it out for yourself, and even take a free trial. And now let's get back into the video. Now, I've made dedicated videos about how you can learn DSA, how you can learn development. I'll give links to those, you can check it out later. But to put it briefly, for DSA, you need to solve problems on lead code. You need to grind well on lead code or Geeks for Geeks, whatever you choose. So you need to solve problems and you need to give contests. Practice is the key here. Practice is the only way here. There's no shortcut, there's no cheat code. You need to practice problems, you need to give contests. If you need an in-depth roadmap, I'll give a video in the description, you can check it out. Now, for development, first you need to choose a tech stack. Okay, so if you're in college and if you're in first year, then you have the freedom of choosing any tech stack. So you can choose anything. You can choose web development, you can choose Android, you can choose machine learning, whichever one you want. But what I would suggest you is go into web development. Now in web development, you can go into front end, back end, or full stack, whatever it is, and then start building projects. Again, there are three ways in development, okay, that will bring you a lot of good opportunities in internship. First is to build individual projects. You can learn the technologies. Suppose you want to learn front end, learn React.js, learn the basic UI features. And if you want to learn backend, you can learn something like Node.js or Spring Boot, and you can make personal projects. Second thing is you can contribute to open source. So you have a lot of videos now discussing how you can contribute to open source, which is a great way to build up your portfolio. So you can contribute to open source, learn that, and learn development like that. Or third, you can take parts into hackathon. So what you can do, you can build a team and you can, take part in hackathons, build stuff and learn like that. So you can do either of these three things, but the main thing is that you need to be a good developer. You need to be good at the basics of development at the very least if you want to get an internship. So DSA development you can do side by side. Again, for in-depth, check out the description. So these are the skills that you need. But even if you have all the necessary skills, if you don't end up getting shortlisted for the interviews, it's of no use. So the next thing is, how do you get shortlisted for the interviews? How do you make sure that your resume gets shortlisted and you appear for the interviews? So that's what we're going to talk about in this segment. First things first, resume is very important. If you're in on-campus placements, then resume is not that important. Trust me, I've seen the worst of resume get selected. But if you're on off-campus, then you might see that even in internship, you have thousands and thousands of applicants, and there your resume matters. So you need to be able to have a good resume. You need to build a good resume. So for that, two things you need to focus on. First is your format. Choose a good format. Don't choose all those flashy fonts, flashy formats, weird things. Choose a good format, a decent format. I'll give a format in the description. You can choose that, and the website that you'll be using is Overleaf, and you'll be using latex to create the resume. Now, once you've had a good format, next thing that you need to do is make sure that your resume is ATS friendly. So again, I've made an entire video about it, but basically you need to have the relevant keywords to put in your resume according to the internship description or the job description. So make sure that your resume has a good format. Make sure your resume is ATS friendly. You'll have a lot of online testing websites which will show you your ATS score. According to that, make a good resume. Now, after you make a good resume, the next thing that you need to focus on is your project portfolio. Of course, your project portfolio is also part of your resume. So if you have a good project portfolio, the chances of your resume getting shortlisted is also high. So what I would suggest is making at least 2 projects. You can make more if you want. You can even have 1 project if you want. But I suggest having at least 2 projects. Okay, 1 project can be something basic, something having a little implementation, some feature that you've implemented, some cool thing that you've learned, something basic can be there. And 1 project should be your ACE project. This project should be complex. It should have proper front end, it should have proper back end, it should have proper databases, proper API calls. So this project will be basically the highlight of your resume. Okay, so this project should be complex, should be useful, and should be overall a good project. Okay, you should have good quality code, and then you should be deploying that project somewhere. You should have the code uploaded to GitHub, and you should have this project working in a working condition. Okay, so these 2 projects and a good resume will make sure that you end up getting selected in the most of the places. Okay, now you're ready 75%. Okay, you are good with your projects, you are good with your resume, you're good with your DSS skills, you're good with your development skills. Now the final question is, okay, I've done everything. Where do I get the opportunities? I'm from a tier 3 colleges. There's no companies coming. I don't have any opportunities at my door. What can I do to get the opportunities? Okay, so there are a couple of websites that you can use. First thing is LinkedIn. Now again, I know it's cliche, but LinkedIn is very, very useful. If you follow the right people, if you follow like people for memes, if you just use LinkedIn as Instagram, then you're not gonna get anywhere. If you follow the right people who post job updates daily, if you follow some useful people, if you go to companies' pages, and if you click on that you're interested, then you will be getting notified of companies hiring. Like recently, Google was hiring for internship, and a lot of people were posting about it, and a lot of people referred a lot of people also. Likewise, there was a drive for Microsoft internship, and a lot of people were posting about it. A lot of people were giving referrals. So go on LinkedIn, spend half an hour daily, follow the right people, connect with the right people, and you can either ask for referral, or if there's any openings, if there's any drives, then you can apply for there. Apart from LinkedIn, there are many other websites as well. You have InstaHire, you have Naukri.com, you have Internshala, things like that. So I'll make a list in the description. You can check the list out from there. You can check out multiple websites from there. I have also invited a person on my channel who talked about these things like in a very comprehensive manner so that you can understand each thing. I'll link that video as well so you can check out how you can find the opportunities. Okay, but to be honest, LinkedIn should be more than enough is what I feel, at least for the internship part. If you have the right skills and if you follow the right people, if you have the right connections, then internship should be good enough for you, or let's say easy enough for you. Apart from these websites and apart from applying to multiple places, one more great way for getting an internship is via hackathons. So I already talked about in the first segment, if you learn development the right way, if you apply for a lot of hackathons, then you can get a lot of internship opportunities. As you can see, a lot of companies right now have started hiring via hackathons. You have JP Morgan, who have Code for Good. You have Myntra, who have a hackathon which they hire from. You have Walmart, which hires from Sparkathon. So you have multiple companies right now which hire via hackathons. So what you can do, be good at development, and you can do the things that I mentioned: LinkedIn, all these websites, make a profile, send out applications, keep applying. Apart from that, you can go into hackathons, make a good team, go into hackathons, and if you end up winning or if you end up impressing the judges, then you will get a internship opportunity from there as well. So all of these things you can do to get a good internship opportunity. Once you're in the internship, you can work hard, try to get a PPO. Even if you don't get a PPO, you will still have work experience and you will still have a good column to add in your resume. So follow all the steps that I mentioned, and if you have any doubts about any of the steps, if you're stuck somewhere, then feel free to reach out to me either on LinkedIn or Instagram, or you can even leave a comment. So that's all. Thank you.